Welcome to the object-oriented programming in Python, and in this episode we are going to talk about the decorators. Yes, the decorators, the magical thing in Python, and you will going to see deep things in decorators. But before that, let's start to see how you can create nested functions. So suppose I'm going to create a function which is called operation, and this is obviously going to accept operation type. So opt and type we have, and then I'm going to check if opt type, that means operation type, is equal to add, then we are going to return something. Yeah, I will do that, but let's just say else. Again, I'm going to return something, and what that things I'm going to return, I will define here. So first I will define a add function. So add function will accept two numbers, n1 and n2, and it's just going to return n1 plus n2. Super easy things. Similarly, let's define subtract. So subtract is again getting two numbers, n1 and n2, and it's going to say n1 minus n2. Super easy things, nothing difficult to see. And now I'm going to return, and that should be return add. And you can see I'm not calling that function by using these parentheses, I'm just referring that function. Similarly, here I will say subtract or simply sub, the function name. Okay, so in this function, this is the operation function. I have defined two functions, and according to the situation, I'm going to just returning that function, not executing function. Okay, so this thing is very nice. So now I'm going to use these operation function and inside whatever we have created. So first is subtract. I'm going to call a subtract simple variable I have given here, and this is equal to operation, and operation type is, let's say, sub. Okay, so we have done this, and now I am just going to say subtract. Let's use print here, and this time because we are printing and it says yes, this subtract is an function on this operation function, then a sub function. You can see operation dot local sub. That means this subtract is now a sub function inside this operation function. And now if I call this subtract function by using the parenthesis, and we know to call this subtract we need to pass two numbers. So let's pass 5 and 3, and yes, we know it is 2. Similarly, if we want to create a addition function, so its addition is like again using the operation and add. So instead of subtract, I will use addition. So addition is here and use equal to sign, and addition is 5 plus 3 is 8. So you got the idea that we can create function inside function, and that function can just return the inner function and not executing it. Okay, so let's get back to the decorators. What are decorators? So as the name suggests, it decorate other function. Decorate means suppose like a gift, you wrap a gift with a wrapping paper, that will just decorate your gift. So your functionality, your gift is not going to change, it just adds some functionality to that gift. Similarly, our decorators are the functions which are going to add functionality to the functions we are going to use. If you are not getting these things, no problem, let me explain you. So again, I'm going to create a function. Similarly, we have created operation function, but not operation. I will directly create a function called add. And now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to say another function which is, let's call dummy function, and this function is just inside this add function. That's okay. And now this add function is actually accepting another function, and we are calling that function here inside this dummy, and then after that returning that dummy. And obviously I'm not calling that dummy function, I'm just returning it. And now let's define a function which is say operation, and in this function I'm going to say pass. I'm not doing anything. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to say operation, or simply let's say opt is equal to add and operation, and not any execution with the parenthesis. And now I will print out opt. Let's see the result. Again, similarly, in the previous example, you can see we have opt, which we have equal to add, and we are passing the function inside a function. Then we are executing this function here inside this func, and then we have this opt, which is just an dummy. So you can see, because we are returning dummy inside this add function, so opt has to be the dummy. So let's do something inside operation. So I'm going to simply say print hello. Okay, so now let's try to see what happens if we try to use this function or execute this function by using the parenthesis. So opt and execution. So because this is opt is a dummy function, so we are executing which function? Yes, the dummy function. And yeah, inside this dummy function we are executing the function which we have passed, which is operation. So by using this system, we are going inside this dummy, and dummy is actually executing func, which is actually the operation. So run it, and yes, you can see hello is there. So this is actually the decorator. And what if I say print before, and then I will say print after. Okay, and let's like after. So what we are expecting, because we are calling opt, which is dummy, so dummy is called, and inside this dummy function we know the first statement has to be before, then hello, and then after. Let's run it. Yeah, before, hello, and after. So this is actually our decorator, which is just decorating. You can see this function is wrapped inside these two print statements, and we can actually do anything with this. How it is going to be useful, we will see in just a moment, but let's just complete this concept of using a decorator. So add is a decorator which is decorating by this means, and we are using that decorator just like this one. So what if I call it operation instead of just opt, and now you can see we are passing operation inside this decoration, and we are giving that same result inside the operation variable. And now this operation is just going to be work just like if we use this simple operation, and it is going to be work but with this decorations also. So what if I just comment this? So this statement is commented, and now the operation is executing this one. So let's see, only hello is there, but by using this system we are using decorations. So next thing is very important is that you can see we are using operation here, 3 and 4 times we are using operation. So why not reduce this statement? Okay, so here instead of saying that okay, I want this operation function to be decorated with add function, instead of doing this statement, what I can do, let's first run hello is there. I can say at the rate sign, I can say at the rate sign, and then add. So by using this kind of statement, just above the function we are using at and the decorator name, we are replicating this statement, but we don't have to now write it. So let's run it. And yes, you can see before, hello, after, and if I comment this add, then run it and no decoration. So this is very, very useful. So yes, you can see we are getting the concept of decorator, that it adds functionality to our function, and just by using this notation we can enhance any function. But how it is actually useful? So let me do one thing. I'm going to create a new file, and the file name is called decorators.py, and let's move this add decorator from here to this file. And now let's clear this like here, and now you can see this is giving error because it says add is not defined. So I will say from decorators import, and like import add, and now it is going to work. So run it, and the same result is here. And now instead of this hard-coded hello, why not use some arguments here? And now I'm going to pass hello from here. So it's very easy. We are passing the hello from operation, and then we are accepting it and we are printing it. No problem. So let's run it. And what's that? We are getting error. Why is that? So let's just remove this decorator and see what will be the result. It's working, but not with decorator. Why is that? What is the problem? So the problem here you can see is that it uses the dummy actually. So behind the scene, because we are using this decorator, this operation is actually a dummy method which doesn't have any argument. So we can use simply the text here, and we can just pass the text to whatever the function we are using the decorator for. So we are using decorator for this operation function, and we are passing this text, and then we are printing it. So this means now it's going to work. This is good, but what if I will say hello there? So yeah, I need to say text2, and then we will simply say like yeah, text2, and here also we need to say text2 and lot of things. Instead of do one thing, we can make this general. So asterisk args we are going to use here, and we are passing whatever the argument we are getting from the user. So asterisk just saying that okay, take whatever number of argument the user is given. Try to run it, and yes, you can see it's working absolutely fine. So if I need to change here, so I will say hello there, how's you? So simply text3 will come here, and this will be the simple case. But now what I'm trying to do, let's say I have n1 here and n2 here, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just return n1 plus n2. So let's give two numbers, so 2 and 3. Let's run it. It says nothing because it's just returning. So how can we return something from the decorator? So yes, you can see we are returning from this operation function. So actually we need to return this function itself. So if we are going to return the function, this print statement is not going to work because it is stopped here after returning. So let's run it. And yes, you can see just we have the before. So there is no need to use the print here, and actually there is no need to use the before here because now we know how it's going to work. But the problem is how we can add these two. We are using this, so yeah, we need to pass the argument here. We have actually passed, but it's not doing anything because we need to print it here. So let's just print here, and let's see, 5 is here. Okay, great, this is good. But now I need to extend this and use the magic of the decorator. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say here operation. First thing is operation, and then result. So here I will say return operation, then plus sign gives result as, and then plus sign and result. So what is going to happen here, you will see in just a moment. We are passing these two arguments 2 and 3 to this operation because we are using the add decorator. That will come up here, and now instead of just returning all the argument to here, let's just see what happened with this statement. So it will say nothing because this is like we are saying that this has to be the string. So if I pass two strings here instead of number, 2 gives result as 3. This is not I want to add these two. So I will say here simply, first let's define 0 b is equal to 0, and then I will say for num in args, and then I will say b is equal to num plus b, and now I'm going to pass that b here, which is the result, and obviously the operation which is addition. So this is nice. So let's run it, and so I need to convert it to str. So this is actually has to be a string. So let's run it, and yes, it says that addition gives result as 5. So this is very nice. Addition gives result as 5. But now I'm going to copy it and paste it and create a new function called multiply, and same thing, but initializes b with 1, and instead of multiplying I'm just going to use multiplication sign asterisk. So this time it's multiplication, and now I will try to run it because it's using the decorator of add, so it's going to add these two numbers. If I try to use multiply, and we need to import it also, so multiply and try to run it, it says some problem because this has to be multiply and spelling of multiply has to be correct. So why not correct it, multiply, and let's just correct it on decorator ends also. So this is good, and let's run it, and yes, you can see this time it's multiplied. So just by changing the decorator we can just change the implementation, and this is the power of using the decoration. And not only that, you can add up more numbers you want. So let's say here comma and run it, and it's just multiplied all these numbers. But as soon as I change the decorator, you can see it just added the numbers. So this is the power of using add decorators in Python. In the next episode we will talk about the static method, class method, and the properties. So if you have liked this episode, please go and share these videos with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like Bitfumes on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We will meet in the next episode. Till then, goodbye.